If I asked you to think about Kirby, your mind probably jumps to this. Maybe it's this and its amazing DS remake. Hopefully you don't think about any of these right here. Because if you did, I'd hate to be the one to break this to you, but there might be something wrong with you. But in all seriousness, you can't go wrong when deciding what Kirby is to you. It's a franchise with more spin-offs than it has copy abilities. Platformers, puzzle games, pinball, it's a buffet. A dream buffet. At times, it's hard to remember that this series has primarily been platformer-based ever since its inception. But if you were to ask me to think about Kirby before any game, anime, or the mountains upon mountains of merch that come over from Japan, seriously, why do I have so much Kirby merchandise? I'm a Sonic fan, for God's sake. I'd pick the subgame that shows why Kirby stands out in comparison to all the other mascot platformers out there. I know what this looks like. Of all the things to pick from Kirby Superstar, I chose the Great Cave Offensive. And no, this isn't me trying to be different or start some sort of, actually, Canvas Curse's peak conversation. I picked it because this little subgame quietly pulls off what most full-length platformers struggle to. It makes Kirby feel like a real adventurer. I genuinely think that it shows off many of the advantages that the Kirby series has over its competition. The premise behind the Great Cave Offensive is pretty simple. While out looking for adventure, Kirby falls down a giant chasm and ends up in a cave filled with a sprawling maze of rooms, enemies, secrets, and 100 shiny treasures just waiting to be found. It's your job to collect as much treasure as you can while finding your way out of the cave. Like I said, it's really simple. It doesn't involve godlike deities, you're not fighting a space lion made out of nightmares or collecting souls in the 4th layer of purgatory. Or aura farming. It's just you, a cave, and the single most tempting counter in the entire series. The goal is simple: leave the cave, and the game won't stop you. There's a main path in every area, and if you just walk forward, you'll reach the end eventually. Sure, there might be some enemies to block your path, but come on, they're Kirby enemies. But following the easy route through the many different rooms composing this cave network isn't the intended way to play through this. Not even a minute into your cave journey, you'll come across the main focal point of this entire game mode: treasure. Now sure, you could just walk to the exit, skipping over this extremely enticing treasure box, but where's the fun in that? Outside of wondering how a single gold medal could be worth over 10,000 G, this sets the bar high for what this subgame is all about, and it's where the actual game kicks in. The Great Cave Offensive doesn't force you to explore. It tempts you, it bribes you, and it works. Not every treasure is handed to you like our metal friend at the beginning. Most treasures will require you to complete some sort of puzzle or overcome some sort of challenge to acquire. Sometimes it's as simple as swimming against a fast current. Other times you'll spot a treasure behind a wall and realize that you'll need a very specific copy ability, like Beam to hit a far-off switch or Hammer to break a hidden block. And then, like every other subgame in Superstar, timed puzzles. Press a switch, book it through a narrow gap, and pray your movement is just tight enough to make it. Just like how the progress bar can serve as a countdown to completion, it can also serve as motivation. 1 out of the 60 treasures collected? Guess that means there's only 59 to go. While collecting all of them doesn't net you anything in Superstar and in its DS remake Superstar Ultra, it's the process behind collecting all of them that fulfills you. You'll be feeling real clever after collecting some of these treasures, let me tell you. Out of the other subgames within Kirby Superstar, this is the one with the most potential to show off why, despite having plenty of other platformers on the Super Nintendo, Kirby was by far one of the best and most unique ones to choose. Kirby's floaty platforming and the fact that he can fly blends perfectly with a game mode all about exploration, puzzle solving, and collecting. With every other subgame in Superstar being built off of your traditional platformer game, it really helps the Great Cave Offensive stand out. One of the coolest things about the Great Cave Offensive is just how much the developers clearly had fun with developing it. You won't just find generic treasures, you can find references to other Nintendo franchises scattered throughout the cave, like the Triforce, this all-important relic in the Zelda universe, just hanging out in a chest. But that's not all. There's also Mr. Saturn from Earthbound, who is surprisingly worth less than a suit of armor, Samus's helmet, and even a Mario coin or two just hiding around. These little touches don't just make the mode feel like a side quest, they turn it into a playful, fan-focused celebration. And honestly, that, alongside the precision, memorization, and execution required to get some of these treasures, is the exact kind of charm that keeps me coming back. If we were to see something like this from the Kirby franchise in the future, it would need to remain as a side mode. Don't get me wrong, I love long drawn-out collectathons, but that gets kind of difficult when translating that to a 2D platformer. But another subgame, or maybe even a cheap eShop downloadable title, since we know Nintendo's not above that shows off the unique applications of Kirby's copy abilities, including new ones from Triple Deluxe, Forgotten Land, and Return to Dreamland. Heck, I'd even take a side mode in the upcoming Switch 2 release of Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Just something that shows off the strengths of Kirby's movement and level design, please. So yeah, the Great Cave Offensive might not be the flashiest Kirby experience. It's divisive, it's a little clunky, and it definitely isn't for everyone. But that's kind of the point. Instead of rushing you through to the end, pointing out your end goal at all times, looking at you, Dynablade, it tempts you to slow down, poke around, and actually enjoy the act of exploring. Most platformers want you to move forward as fast as possible. This mode says, hey, maybe try turning back, or looking behind that wall. You'll never know what you'll find. And that gentle nudge towards curiosity, that's what makes this mode so special to me. It's where Kirby stops just being a cute mascot and starts being an icon of playfulness and wonder. But to be fair, I've always appreciated exploration and patience in platformers. If you've never really given the Great Cave Offensive a proper chance, maybe it's time to dust off your copy of Superstar or Superstar Ultra and have a ball. Worst case scenario, you waste 30 minutes of your life and move on. Best case, you discover Kirby's best kept secret. Thanks for watching.